Okay, lesson number 6, the garden. So we're going to come up to the gate, unlatch it, and open it. Okay, and here's the garden. This area, collards and carrots, is pretty much played out, so I'm just leaving that go. There's still a few scraggly carrots over there, but I don't think they're any good. A lot of weeds. 2 little cabbage heads that are probably no good. And a moldy cabbage. And here's a lettuce that I'm letting seed, so leave that one alone. I don't know if there's any seeds in there or not, but just leave that. And then there's the other lettuce that's not fallen over. Okay, here's some tomatoes. You can pick those when they're ready. Here's one that's ready. I'm going to pick that right there. Okay, and there's another one over there that's ready. And another one over there that's ready. Okay, so cabbage, collards, done. Okay, this was my onion patch. They're mostly done. But I planted some chives along this row that I'm trying to get to grow. So just be careful when you walk. There's chives all along in this row. There's onion and chives and onion. Okay, and over here is the leeks. And they look like they need weeding. But they're not ready yet. They're still growing. So leeks. Okay, here's the beans. These are pole beans. I've quit picking them, but you can probably start picking them again because it looks like they have blossoms on them. The big ones like this that you see hanging down like this, don't pick those because those are my seeds for next year. But anything above you can pick. Like there, see, there's one that you can pick. Okay, and if you come back here, I have a pepper right here. It's not really doing anything, it's just being a pepper. And then this row is my yellow wax beans, and you can pick them. I thought they were played out, but actually they're blooming again, so you can pick them if you get some. Cucumbers right here. They're kind of didn't really do much this year. Here's one right here. There's 2 kinds. There's a little white one. And these don't get very big. They're small. They're pickling cucumbers. So you can pick those. And then in the back, these guys right here are your green cucumbers. And you might get some of those. Sometimes they're outside the fence, so you might have to walk around. Okay, cucumbers back here. I'm going to keep walking back here. Past there, some more pole beans. The first 2 and the last 2 bushes of the yellow wax, don't pick those because those are my seeds for next year. Okay, we're going to walk around the dogwood tree. Big weeds. Okay, in this row right here that needs weeding, I have, if you walk up on this side, every once in a while you'll see I have a beet. There's a beet. Didn't do much. But there's a few beets in this row between the weeds. Okay, there's another beet. You can see the beets. Geez, I guess all my other beets died. I didn't make it. Okay, and then I have another pepper here, pepper in the next row, pepper in that row, and pepper in that row. So you can check the peppers. And then I have my okra. So okra. Some of them are too big. The big ones just leave there and I'll dry them, and those will be my seeds for next year. So I've got okra. Okay, and then I have black beans. Okay, black beans, there's a bee. Black beans, do not pick the black beans unless they're dry. Like this one's all dry. Okay, that one can be done because they have to be dry before you can pick them. So you can either leave them or pick them as you wish. There's a bunch of dried ones right there. But see, there's a green one, so, okay. Black beans. Okay, and then in the next 2 rows, right here, there's pole beans. Excuse me, not pole beans. Purple hulls, or cowpeas. And they can pick those every other day. I just harvested them yesterday, but they'll be ready every other day. And then when they're played out, they'll have 2 more crops, probably. That's what I've been averaging. So they'll bloom again and produce again. Okay, on these, the first 4 bushes at the front of the row, this one, and that one, and that one, and that one, seeds for next year, so don't pick those. Okay, and then we have 2 rows of soy. That's black soy and white soy. You don't need to pick those unless you want to. I guess some of them look like they might be ready. But I have edamame in the freezer, so you probably don't have to pick these. If they look like they need picked. If they're dry, kind of like turning colors, like maybe that one, and they're full, you can probably pick them, but you don't have to. I can do it when I get home, because they can be dried as well. Okay, so here's soy. Ruined that plant. Soy. Okay, and then corn. Oh, here's jalapeno. And then 4 corn rows. The first 2 might be picked out, but the second 2, like, see, here's a nice ear corn. You can harvest the corn as you wish. It's really good corn, sweet corn. That looks really ready. So come out and pick corn and eat it or freeze it. So I got 4 rows of corn and 4 rows of corn, and then a row of basil, all kinds of basil. I'm going to go just all the way down the row. And then tomatoes here. These are Stefan's tomatoes, as their experiments. And I've got little bok choy here that seeded itself, so don't pick those. Those are not weeds. Bok choy. There's another basil. The basil's growing up all over the place. And then I have beets, big beets, interesting beets. This is 2-year beets, and they put out my greens. So I've got beets. Don't pull those up. And then over in the herb garden, I've tried to start weeding this. I've got the sage. Everything else is pretty bolted. There's parsley. Don't pull that up. Parsley all bolted. Dried dill seeds. I'm just going to let that reseed itself. And then I've got all these, like there and there and there and there, chives. So if you want to, you can take those chives up and transplant them back where the onions were. Just dig them up and tear them apart and plant them individually. And then I've got some more onions kind of spaced out in here. And then once in a while you'll see a wild basil. So I quit weeding right here. So there's still weeds in there. There's parsley bolted. Don't pull those up. They'll reseed themselves and they'll come back. And then my oregano is bolted, and my rosemary, and my thyme. But you can see there's a lot of weeds here, so if you want to pull weeds, you can. And the other thing is the horseradish. So I don't even see any horseradish leaves. I guess the horseradish has died back. But just be careful when you weed past the rosemary, because there's horseradish in the ground, and it's got long, narrow, crinkly leaves. They're different. So you can pull all the weeds, but don't mess with if you see any horseradish. And like there's another parsley. And that's it. One last thing, when you close the gate, make sure it latches. It's kind of tough. You have to wiggle it around. Kind of hard to do this with one hand. Have to latch it all the way, or the wind will blow it open and the chickens will get in and they'll scratch everything up.